Tahniah! Secara langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Secara langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Hai, apa khabar semua? Salam sejahtera dan selamat datang ke Pusat Tuisyen Online Akademi YouTuber. Pusat Tuisyen Percuma yang pertama di Malaysia. Bermula percuma, selama-lamanya percuma. Saya Madam Lee yang berperanan sebagai moderator untuk sesi live hari ini. Untuk maklumat, live ini adalah bersiaran daripada channel Madam Fizi. Berikut adalah ahli-ahli dalam konti kita. Presenter kita malam ini adalah Madam Fizi. Okay, diikuti dengan host controller kita malam ini, Cikgu Lee. Okay, seterusnya dan pemerhati kita pada malam ini ialah Cikgu Yati. Okay, so berikut merupakan perkara-perkara yang peserta perlu ambil perhatian. Sila gunakan gambar profil yang bersesuaian dan tutur bahasa yang sopan di ruangan chat. Sila on kamera dan mic jikalau anda dipilih untuk naik ke ruang studio bersama dengan presenter. Sila tumpukan perhatian terhadap presenter dan hanya menggunakan ruangan chat untuk menjawab soalan atau jika adanya soalan yang ingin ditujukan. Akademi YouTuber akan memberi mata kredit atau mata ganjaran kepada pelajar yang mengikuti kelas live IU. Satu kehadiran dalam mana-mana kelas bersamaan 3 mata kredit. Nanti Madam akan umumkan nombor kelas satu persatu ikut tempoh yang telah ditetapkan. Pelajar adalah dilarang menulis nombor berkenaan pada ruangan chat. Sila fokus dan buat catatan sendiri. Kemudian isi pada borang mata rekod mata kredit yang akan dikongsikan melalui ruangan chat. Pada akhir siaran ini, link isi je akan diberikan dan anda hanya mempunyai 30 minit sahaja untuk mengisi maklumat anda. Sila pastikan bahawa anda boleh menggunakan sama ada email e-didik ataupun akaun MURID delima sahaja. Sekarang saya akan perkenalkan presenter kita hari ini dengan lebih mendalam. Nama penuh beliau adalah Azmazatu Yusfizati binti Muhammad Yusuf. Beliau mengajar di College Matrikulasi Negeri 9. Mata pelajaran yang diajar adalah subjek Perakaunan. Pengalaman mengajar beliau adalah sebanyak 18 tahun. Ini adalah siri kelas tuition yang ke-15 bagi Madam Fizi dan tajuk yang diajar pada hari ini adalah Adjustment in Accounting. Sebelum kita mula pembelajaran hari ini, Madam akan umumkan mata kredit sekarang juga. Diminta para pelajar beri perhatian, huruf dan nombor dia adalah A4. Saya ulang, A4. Tanpa membuang masa lagi, saya akan serahkan kelas kepada Madam Fizi sekarang. Dipersilakan Madam Fizi.
Okay, baiklah. Thank you moderator, our moderator Madam Lee, pengantin baru. Untuk pengetahuan semua, Madam Lee baru saja melangsungkan perkahwinan beliau. So dah tukar hari tu misi, sekarang dah jadi Madam Lee. Okay, so baiklah, saya akan teruskan kelas ya. Okay, saya share screen. Okay, so okay, tadi Madam Lee dah perkenalkan diri saya ya. So my name is Puan Azmazatu Yusfizati binti Muhammad Yusuf. So a student call me Madam Fizi and I'm from College Matrikulasi Negeri 9. And my teaching experience is about 18 years in Matriculation College. And before that, I work in private sector in accounting field for 8 years as an accountant. And this is my channel, Madam Fizi channel. Okay, you can scan the QR code or you and then subscribe, like and share my video. Okay, so before that, I want to introduce my team. This is my team. Okay, Panitia Perakaunan dan Ekonomi Perayu. That is me, Madam Fizi. And then beside me is Cikgu Yati, accounting lecturer from College Matrikulasi Negeri Sembilan. Okay, and then Cikgu Lee. Sekarang Madam Lee from College Matrikulasi Perak. She's a teaching economy, and also Cikgu Yi from College Tingkatan 6. Okay, she's teaching economy. Okay, and then please subscribe all these teachers here. Okay, so we are Academy YouTuber Malaysia. And selain daripada our team, we also have Biologi Perayu lead by Madam Faiza from College Matrikulasi Negeri Sembilan. We also have Kimia Perayu lead by Teacher Shannon from College Matrikulasi Pulau Pinang. We also have Fizik Perayu lead by Madam Rosmaya. And we also have Mathematics T STPM lead by Teacher Im. Okay, so now we start our topic, adjustment at the end of accounting period. So in this topic, we will learn the introduction of revenue and expenses. Secondly, type of adjustment. Thirdly, correcting entries. And lastly, pop quiz. Kalau kita sempat, kita akan buat pop quiz hari ni Okay, and then so kita start dengan introduction. Okay, we will see what is the basis of accounting, the definition of revenue and expenses, how to record revenue and expenses, then what is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, and how the reporting of revenue and expenses. Okay, now we start with basis of accounting. Okay, so there are two bases of accounting. Firstly is a cash basis, and the secondly is accrual basis. So what is cash basis? Okay, cash basis means we record revenue when cash is received and expenses are recorded and recognized when cash is paid. Okay, maksudnya cash basis ni adalah asas tunai. Okay, dia berlaku apabila whatever yang kita receive cash, kita terus record sebagai revenue, and whatever yang kita bayar cash, kita terus record sebagai expenses. Kita tak kira dah berlaku ataupun belum, once we receive cash or we pay cash, kita terus iktiraf revenue or expenses. Okay, so how to calculate the profit? Okay, so the profit equals to cash revenue minus cash expenses. Okay, this is cash basis. Okay, normally sekarang ni kita dah tak guna dah cash basis. So who use cash basis? Okay, cash basis was used by government. Okay, dulu government ada menggunakan cash basis, asas tunai. Tapi sekarang government telah beralih kepada asas accrual. The accrual basis, saya ingat about 8 years ago, kita dah tukar, our government dah convert from cash basis to accrual basis. Okay, so what is accrual basis? Okay, accrual basis is when revenue are recorded and recognized when the revenue occur or perform or provide even cash receivable. Maksudnya kita iktiraf revenue apabila ia telah berlaku. Tak kira sama ada kita telah terima cash ataupun belum. And how about expenses? Expenses are recorded and recognized when they occur even unpaid cash. Maksudnya kita kena recognize atau declare expenses belanja apabila dia telah berlaku. Okey, tak kira sama ada kita dah bayar that expenses ataupun belum. Once dia berlaku je kita kena declare. Okay, so itu adalah asas accrual. Okay, akruan, in BM akruan. So that is the difference between accrual basis and cash basis. Okay, the accrual basis is what we practice now. Okay, so how to calculate the profit? Profit equals to revenue was obtained, revenue telah berlaku, minus expenses has occurred, minus belanja yang telah berlaku. Okay, that is the difference between accrual and cash basis. Okay, next, about the accounting principle between the cash basis and accrual basis. So, cash basis, as I mentioned just now, okay, is not comply with the GAAP. GAAP itu apa? Generally Accepted Accounting Principle. Under the concept of revenue recognition and expenses recognition. Okey, kenapa dia tidak comply? Kenapa dia tidak mematuhi GAAP? Because for failing to record the result of the cash receivable and fail to record an expense for unpaid expenses. Okey, dia pakai record saja apa yang dia terima cash, apa yang dia keluarkan cash. Okay, without ambil tahu adakah revenue or expenses telah berlaku. So that's mean cash basis is not comply with GAAP. Okay, how about the accrual basis? Okay, so transaction in the period in which the event occur. Maksudnya event dah berlaku, itu adalah accrual basis. Then oleh itu dia comply dengan konsep of revenue recognition dan juga expenses recognition ataupun revenue recognition principle and expenses recognition principle. Oleh kerana dia mematuhi this concept, so it is comply with GAAP. So that's why we practice the accrual basis. That means, okay, our financial report that we send for audit must comply with the GAAP. So it follow accrual basis. Okay, so next, we look at what is the difference between revenues and expenses. Revenue tu adalah hasil, expenses is belanja. So we look at the definition. Revenue, what is revenue? Okay, the total amount of income generated by the sale of goods or services related to the primary operation. Okay, maksudnya apa? Revenue tu adalah hasil yang kita generated, yang kita perolehi daripada jualan barang-barang kita, barang niaga ataupun servis yang kita berikan kepada customer related to the company's primary operation. Apa maksud primary? Operasi utama kita. So that is the revenue. Okay, jualan barang niaga dan juga services. Okay, so what is expenses? Okay, expenses is the cost of operation that a company incurs to generate revenue. Maksudnya kos yang berlaku dalam operasi dalam sesebuah perniagaan untuk menghasilkan revenue, untuk menghasilkan income. Okay, itu adalah expenses. Yeah. Okay, now we look at concept. Revenue, they follow the concept or the principle of revenue recognition concept, while expenses follow the expenses recognition concept. And what is the impact of the owner equity? Okay, as you know, revenue is the income, so it will increase owner equity, while expenses will reduce or reducing the owner equity. Sebab dia belanja kan, so it will reduce the owner equity. Okay, so that is the difference between revenue and expenses. Okay, so how to record the revenue and expenses? Okay, for revenue ada dua. There are two types of revenue. Firstly is the revenue of operation, that is the result obtained from core business activity. Core business tu apa? Primary activity. That is the main activity. That is the revenue of operation. Contohnya, for example, sales of merchandise or revenue from service. Okay, and then the other one is other revenue. Lain-lain hasil. That means result are not related to the main activity. Maksudnya, selain daripada hasil main activity kita itu apa? For example, revenue from bank deposit, interest and dividend. Itu adalah hasil yang bukan daripada aktiviti utama perniagaan kita kan. Okay. Same goes to expenses. There are two types, divided into two. Firstly is operating expenses. Operating expenses mean expense directly attributable primarily engaged in business. Maksudnya expenses yang daripada core business juga. For example, transport cost, wages, salary, rental and others. And the other one is from non-operating expenses. Belanja dari bukan aktiviti utama. Expenses that are not directly related to the main activity. For example, bank loan interest, loss of disposal of vehicles and others. Okay, next, what is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure? What is the difference? Okay, revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure is any expenditure or expenses. Okay, look here. Okay, I already underlined the word of expenses. So, revenue expenditure is expenses incurred to maintain the asset for the operation of the business. Okay, please take note that revenue expenditure ni adalah belanja hasil. Belanja hasil, it related to the expenses. So, when it goes to expenses, it means that it will decrease the business profit. Okay, so expenses means that the benefit of which is received once a period time. So maksudnya benefit tu kita dapat dalam tempoh perakaunan tu saja. Kita tidak bawa ke tahun hadapan. That is the meaning of the benefit of which is received once a period time. Since it is an expenses, so it is reported in the statement of income or statement of profit or loss. Okay, for example, repair of furniture, salary expenses and others.
Maafkan ku, Madam Fizi.
Okay.
Okey, sekarang tiba masanya untuk tuntut mata kredit ya. Jadi pelajar diminta beri perhatian. Nombor yang seterusnya adalah 6. Saya ulang, nombor dia adalah 6. Terima kasih.
Okay. Okay, thank you Madam Lee. Okay, now we continue. Okay, with our topic. Okay, so apa key point dia? Revenue expenditure, hasil, belanja hasil means expenses. Okay, the other one is capital expenditure. Belanja modal. Okay, so what is capital expenditure? Okay, any expenditure incurred to acquire an asset. Maksudnya, apa-apa perbelanjaan yang berlaku untuk pemerolehan sesuatu aset. Oleh itu, dia tergolong dalam aset. So, I underline asset here. So, please take note that when whatever that include or related with capital expenditure, it means it is considered as an asset. So, asset will improve or increase the efficiency of useful life of an asset. Maksudnya, this expenditure will increase the efficiency, meningkatkan kecekapan or the useful life of an asset. Okay, that's why kita golongkan dia sebagai asset, capital expenditure. So, because of it is considered as an asset, so the benefit of which is received over a period is more than 1 year. Asset, non-current asset, seperti such as machine or motor vehicle, the benefit is more than 1 year, right? Okay, so more than 1 year, that's mean that it can, the amount can be brought forward to next year. Okay, since it is considered as an asset, so it is reported in the statement of financial position as in asset. So for example, purchase of machinery, machinery ni asset kan? Okay, so termasuk dalamnya adalah expenditure. Contohnya fees paid for installation of machinery, custom duty paid for import of machinery. Okay. So that is the That is the capital expenditure. Okay, so yang ni kita akan belajar dengan lebih detail dalam in the topic of non-current asset. Okay, so next, what is the guideline to determine whether it is a revenue expenditure or capital expenditure? Sometimes kita confuse. Ini revenue expenditure ke ataupun capital expenditure? So there are 3 guidelines for you to determine. Firstly is the materiality. Okay, what is the meaning by the materiality? Okay, determine the amount involved is material. Kalau kita kata material, that's mean the amount can influence the item in the financial statement. So maksudnya apa? Kalau material tu maksudnya the amount is besar. Okay, the amount is large, besar lah amount dia tinggi. So if it is material, if the amount is big, so it is considered as capital expenditure. Asset kan? Asset selalunya amount dia besar. Okay, one more. Okay, secondly is the frequency of the expenses. Frequency tu maksudnya berapa kekerapan berlakunya expenses tersebut. Okay, so kita tengok if regular expenses usually do not involve large amount. Maksudnya jika expenses tu selalu berlaku, maksudnya amount dia taklah besar sebab dia selalu berlaku kan. Contohnya kita nak baiki macam motor vehicle tu, kita nak baiki tayar ke, kita nak baiki aircon ke kan. So that expenses is regular happen. Okay, if it regular happen, that's mean the amount involved is not large, small amount saja. So it is considered as revenue expenditure. Okay, if it is kerap berlaku, it is a revenue expenditure. And lastly, you can determine by the asset efficiency, kecekapan aset tersebut. Okay, what does it mean? Expenses that extend the life or efficiency of an asset. Usually it involve a large amount. Okay, kalau large amount, then it is about to increase the efficiency of the assets. That means it is a capital expenditure. Okay, this is how to determine whether it is a revenue expenditure or capital expenditure. Okay, next. How to report revenue and expenses. Okay, so revenue and expenses is report under statement of profit or loss ataupun statement of income. So in statement of income, revenue minus expenses. Then dapatlah profit or loss. If revenue is larger or bigger than expenses, so we gain profit. If revenue is smaller or less than expenses, so we will suffer loss. Okay, losses. Okay, awak dengar kan saya cakap, kalau profit, we gain profit. Kalau loss, we suffer loss. That is how accountant write a report. Yeah? Kita tak cakap we gain loss. Macam suka je dapat loss kan? Bukan ya. That is how accountant write a report about profit or loss. We gain profit but we suffer loss. Okay. Next is type of adjustment. Okay. Type of adjustment, we will learn about the purpose of adjustment. Type of adjustment, those are unearned revenue, accrued revenue, prepaid expenses, accrued expenses, depreciation and bad debt expenses. Okay, now we look at what is the purpose of adjustment. Okay, adjustment ni apa? Adjustment is pelarasan. Kita nak selaraskan apa? Kita nak selaraskan account. So what is the purpose of the adjustment? Okay, the main purpose of adjusting entry is to update the accounts to conform with the accrual concept. Apa maksud conform kat sini? Mematuhi. Okay, so the main purpose of kita buat pelarasan adalah untuk kita update account kita supaya dia mematuhi the accrual concept. It means that, apa tadi accrual concept? To allocate revenue and expenses among accounting period in accordance with the revenue recognition and expenses recognition principle. Inilah accrual concept yang kita akan selaraskan in adjusting entries. Adjusting entries ni maksudnya kita akan buat general journal. Yeah? Okay, lagi satu. At the end of the accounting period, some income and expenses may have not been recorded or updated. Dan nanti masa kita di akhir tempoh perakaunan, kita akan dapati beberapa income and expenses tidak direkodkan ataupun tidak update. Hence, there is a need to adjust the accounts balances. That's why we need to make an adjustment or adjusting entries.
Okay, Madam Fizi.
Okay.
Kita rehat sebentar dengan beri laluan kepada iklannya.
Okay.
Berita baik untuk semua. Kini Akademi YouTuber memperkenalkan sistem mata ganjaran kredit AYU untuk dikumpul.
Jom ikuti kelas tuition live AYU untuk mengumpul kredit AYU dan berpeluang menebus hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Hadiah bernilai lebih RM10,000 disediakan secara percuma untuk pelajar seluruh Malaysia. Apa tunggu lagi? Tebus ganjaran hebat ini sekarang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk maklumat lanjut.
Selamat kembali semula. Madam akan umumkan mata kredit sekarangnya. Jadi pelajar diminta beri perhatian. Okey, nombor dia adalah kosong. Saya ulang, nombor dia adalah kosong. Okey, sekarang kita teruskan dengan kelas kita ya. Dipersilakan Madam Fizi.
Okay, thank you Madam Lee. Okay, now kita sambung. Okay, we continue with the adjusting entries. Okay, so there are two types of adjusting entries or adjustment. First is deferrals and the other one is accruals. So deferrals ni apa? Deferrals ni divided into two. Okay, cepatlah pula. Okay, first is okay. First is unearned revenue. Unearned revenue means hasil belum terperoleh. Hasil tapi belum terperoleh. So what does it means? That mean is cash received before the service or goods are performed or delivered to customer. Ya, maksudnya kita dah dapat duit cash tapi kita belum bagi lagi servis ataupun barang kepada customer. And the other one, secondly, is the prepaid expenses. So what is prepaid expenses? Belanja prabayar. Okay. Okay, maksudnya, kenapa pula So prepaid expenses means prepaid paid in advance. Maksudnya kita dah bayar in advance before expenses are used or consumed. Sebelum berlakunya expenses tersebut, kita dah bayar dulu. That means prabayar, belanja prabayar. Okay, under accrual also divided into two. First is accrued revenues ataupun revenue receivable. Okay, accrued revenue tu adalah hasil tak accrue ataupun revenue receivable hasil belum terima. So nowadays we will use this term receivable. Okay, it means that revenue for service or goods has been performed or delivered to customer but cash has not been received yet. Okay. Maksudnya revenue hasil belum terima means kita dah bagi barang atau servis kepada customer tapi customer belum bayar lagi dekat kita. Okay, the other one is accrued expenses or expenses payable. Now we use the term of expenses payable. Maksudnya expenses incurred but not yet paid or cash or recorded. Maksudnya expenses dah berlaku tapi kita belum bayar lagi. Dekat supplier ataupun dekat account payable. So that is expenses payable ataupun accrued expenses. Belanja teraccrue ataupun belanja belum bayar. Okay. Okay, now we will look one by one. Unearned revenue. Okay, what is the meaning of unearned revenue? Unearned revenue is money received by a company but a service or product has not yet provided or delivered to customer. Okay, maksudnya apa tadi? Kita dah terima duit tapi kita belum buat kerja lagi. Kita belum bagi produk dekat customer lagi. So, the seller has a liability equal to the revenue earned until the goods or service is delivered to customer. Okay, so maksudnya unearned revenue is considered as a liability. Kenapa dia dianggap sebagai liability? Because we have received cash, kita dah terima cash daripada customer, but service or good kita belum bagi lagi dekat customer. Kita belum buat kerja lagi tapi dah dapat duit. So this is unearned revenue. So it is considered as a liability. Okay, for example, airline ticket for airline company, airline ticket kalau kita ni adalah AirAsia katakan ataupun MAS, customer akan bayar dulu duit tiket kan, nak flight kan. Tapi dah fly ke belum? Belum. Dia fly mungkin esok lusa atau minggu depan atau bulan depan. Okay, so that is unearned revenue. That means kita dah terima duit daripada customer tapi dia belum naik, belum fly lagi. Yeah? Okay, and then the other one is insurance company, that is a prepaid insurance from customer. This example you will see again and again in the question, tutorial question nanti. Yes, selalunya insurance lah. Selalunya kita kena bayar insurance dulu. Tapi insurance tu belum berlaku lagi. Yeah? Okay. And then the other one is advance rent receive. Sama juga dengan sewa. Selalunya kita bayar sewa dulu, lepas tu baru kita duduk kan. So that means that is unearned revenue. So we look at the example. Okay, Pilah Advertising received 1,200 on October 2nd from Rembau Knox for advertising services expected to be completed by December 31st. Apa dia cakap maksudnya Pilah Advertising dah terima duit sebanyak 1,200. Okay, dan untuk iklan services, tapi iklan services tu akan complete pada December 31st. Maksudnya belum berlaku lagi. Yeah? Unearned service revenue shows a balance of 1,200 in the October 31st trial balance. Betul lah kan? Sebab kita dah dapat duit tapi belum bagi servis, so dia dikira sebagai unearned revenue in the trial balance. And then analysis reveals that the company performed 400 of service in October. Okay, and then dia kata apa? After analysis kita dapati sebenarnya 400 of service telah berlaku bulan Oktober. Oleh kerana servis telah berlaku, so kita kena declare apa? Kita kena declare revenue. So kita kena buat adjustment dekat sini. Ya. Okay, so ini adalah yang berlaku pada 2 Oktober. Kita terima cash. So kita debit cash 1,200 and we credit unearned service revenue 1,200 credit kan. Okay, so ini yang masa mula-mula 2nd Oktober. And then kita dapati 400 of service has performed. So kita kena buat adjusted ataupun adjustment on 31st October. Okay, what is the adjustment? On 31st October, we debit unearned service revenue for 400 and credit apa? Credit service revenue 400. Why we credit service revenue? Because revenue has occurred. So we have to declare the revenue. Okay, next accrued revenue. Hasil terakkru or revenue receivable, hasil belum terima. It means that accrued revenue is revenue that has been earned by providing a goods or service but which no cash has been received. Okay, so maksudnya apa? Kita dah bagi barang atau servis kepada customer but no cash has been received. Customer tak bayar lagi dekat kita. So it is recorded as asset to reflect the amount of money that customer owe the business for the goods or service they purchase. Sekarang ni customer yang berhutang dengan kita. That's why kita record as asset because of service or good has been given to customer but kita tak terima cash lagi daripada customer. That's why dia jadi asset. Okay. So for example, interest revenue and accounts receivable. Okay, awak biasa kan dengan account receivable? Maksudnya kita dah bagi barang atau servis dekat customer tapi dia tak bayar lagi dekat kita. Okay, now we look at the example. Okay, accrued revenues example. In October, Pilah Advertising performed services worth 200 that were not billed to client on or before October 31st. Maksudnya, Pilah Advertising ni dah buat kerja, dah perform service. Dia advertising maksudnya service lah kan. Dia dah perform service but not billed to client means client tak bayar dia lagi lah. Okay, so what is the adjustment? On October 31st, debit account receivable, credit apa? Credit service revenue, 200. Sebab kita dah perform our service, kita dah buat kerja, so we have to declare service revenue. Debit account receivable because customer tak bayar dekat kita lagi, tu adalah asset. Okay. Let's say on November 10, Pilah Advertising receive cash 200 from customer for the service performed. Barulah on November 10 kita debitkan cash 200 and we credit accounts receivable 200. So that means klien dah bayar hutang dia dekat kita on November 10. Okay, that is for example. Okay, so next is prepaid expenses. Okay, prepaid expenses are future expenses that are paid in advance. Maksudnya kita bayar dulu sebelum expenses itu berlaku. Okay, so it is recorded as an asset. Why? Why we record as an asset? Because cash payment, kita dah bayar duit, kita dah bayar cash, but the expenses belum lagi berlaku. That's why dia adalah asset. Okay, once the benefit is realized, the amount then recorded as an expenses. Maksudnya, jika expenses tu dah berlaku, barulah kita recordkan expenses tersebut. Okay. Bila expenses tak berlaku lagi, kita panggil dia apa? Prepaid expenses. Macam awak beli top up handphone kan? Okay, for example, prepaid insurance, prepaid rent, supplies and others. Insurance memang kita kena bayar dulu, tapi insurance tak berlaku lagi. Sewa pun sama juga, kita kena bayar sewa dulu, baru kita boleh duduk kan. So that is prepaid expenses. Okay, for example, on October 4th, Pilah Advertising paid 600 for a year for fire insurance policy. Maksudnya dia bayar untuk setahun for fire insurance policy. Insurans kebakaran Coverage began on October 1st. This account shows a balance of 600 in the October trial balance. So maksudnya dekat trial balance dah ada amount 600 ini. Okay, insurance of 50, macam mana dapat 50? That is 600 divide by 12 months. So sebulan RM50 expired each month. Milu. Okay. So, the insurance, they start 1 Oktober. 1st October start and then kita bayar for 1 year. Okay, so kita nak buat adjustment on 31st October. That means insurance telah berlaku sebulan. So, yang dah berlaku sebulan, we have to declare the expenses. Okay. Okay, so that means pada 4 Oktober, kita debit prepaid insurance 600 and then credit cash 600 sebab kita bayar 600 kan. Okay, tapi yang dah berlaku baru 1 bulan expenses. So we have to declare expenses for 1 month. That is for RM50. So the adjustment is, okay, October 31st, debit insurance expenses 50. That means kita declare expenses and kita creditkan prepaid insurance tu balik 50. So ada lagi 550 belum berlaku. Okay, kita kena declare yang dah berlaku untuk bulan Oktober. 1 bulan. That's why we have to debit insurance expenses as an adjustment. Okay. Okay, next is accrued expenses or expenses payable. Accrued expenses means belanja teraccrue ataupun belanja belum bayar. Okay, what does it mean? Accrued expenses, also called accrued liabilities, are payment that a company is obligated to pay in the future for which goods or services have already been delivered. Maksudnya apa? Goods of service tu kita dah dapat, okay? Tapi kita belum bayar lagi. Okay, so it is recorded as liability. Kenapa liability? Sebab kita berhutang, kan? Kenapa kita berhutang tadi? Because, okay, sebelum tu, kalau dia adalah expenses, so kita record as expense payable jika yang kita berhutang itu adalah merchandise ataupun goods, then kita record as accounts payable. Okay, accounts payable maksudnya accounts belum bayar. So dia adalah considered as a liability. Kenapa kita considered as liability? Because service or goods kita dah dapat, kita dah terima, but kita belum bayar lagi. Maksudnya kita berhutang. Kita dah dapat barang, kita dah dapat servis, okay, tapi kita tak bayar lagi. So that's mean, okay, kalau expenses kita panggilkan dia apa? Expenses payable. Contohnya salary payable. Kalau kita beli itu adalah merchandise or goods, kita record as accounts payable. Okay, so for example, utility payable, salary payable or accounts payable. Kalau merchandise. Okay, kita tengok example. Pilah advertising, pay the employee salary every second day of each month for the previous month's salary. Therefore, the October salary of 1,200 will be paid on November 2nd. Okay, apa maksudnya? Dia bayar gaji pekerja setiap 2 hari bulan, setiap bulan untuk bulan sebelumnya. Okay, maksudnya untuk gaji bulan Oktober sebanyak 1,200 dia akan bayar bulan November 2 hari bulan. Okay, now the expenses has been incurred kan? Okay, the expenses telah pun berlaku. So, kalau telah berlaku, kita kena declare apa? Kita kena declare expenses. Walaupun dia tak bayar lagi. Dia bayar bila? 2nd November. Okay, so what is the adjustment? Okay, kita kena declare expenses walaupun tak bayar lagi. So, on 31st October, debit salary expenses 1,200 and credit salary payable. Salary payable apa? Gaji belum bayar 1,200. We have to declare expenses because expenses has been incurred. The salary pekerja tu dah buat kerja, maksudnya the expenses has have been incurred. So we have to declare the salary expenses. Credit salary payable sebab belum bayar lagi. Okay, this is on 31st October. Okay, if what happened on November 2nd? Okay, on November 2nd dia akan bayar kan? So we debit salary payable on November 2nd and credit cash. Sebab kita bayar dah. Okay, so in adjusting entry, we also have depreciation. Okay, what is depreciation? Depreciation is susut nilai. Yeah. So depreciation is considered as an expenses. Okay, so what is depreciation? Okay, normally buildings, equipment and motor vehicle, assets that provide service for many years are recorded as assets. Betul tak? Building, equipment, motor vehicle are recorded as assets. Non-current assets. Kan? Rather than an expenses, bukannya sebagai expenses on the date acquired. Pada tarikh ia dibeli. So, depreciation mestilah direkod kepada aset. So, depreciation is the process of allocating the cost of an asset to expense over its useful life. So, saya nak awak ingat ni, depreciation is allocating the cost of an asset to expense over its useful life. Kita nak allocate cost daripada aset tersebut. Itu adalah depreciation ataupun susut nilai. So depreciation does not attempt to report the actual change in the value of the asset. Okay, dia bukannya nak value aset tersebut. Dia just allocation concept. Dia just allocating the cost saja. Allocation concept, not a valuation concept. Okay, so it is recorded as an expense in statement of income. Okay, for example, Pilah Advertising assume that depreciation on the equipment is 480 per year, maksudnya 40 per month. Okay. Since dia buat adjusting entry at the end of October for 1 month, so what is the adjustment? Debit depreciation expenses 40 untuk 1 bulan, dia buat adjustment untuk 1 bulan kan? And then credit accumulated depreciation equipment 40. So depreciation sangat senang because the journal entry is macam ni. Always macam ni. Always debit depreciation expenses and credit accumulated depreciation dash apa. In this case is equipment 40. Okay, so tengok soalan, if they need adjustment for 1 month, 40. Okay. So, accumulated depreciation ini is called a contra asset accounts. Maksudnya, kita akan record dalam accumulated depreciation, kita akan record dalam financial position, kita akan kontra dengan asset equipment. Okay, next is bad debt. Bad debt also include in adjusting entries. Okay, so what is bad debt? A bad debt, hutang lapuk hutang lapuk, belanja hutang lapuk is recognized when a receivable is no longer collectible because a customer is unable to fulfill their obligation to pay an outstanding debt. Maksudnya apabila customer yang berhutang dengan kita tidak dapat membayar hutang, dalam jangka masa yang panjang, so kita akan anggap sebagai hutang lapuk, bad debt. Due to kenapa? Kenapa dia tak dapat bayar hutang? Because of the debtor may have passed away, or the debtor may have become bankrupt, or maybe the debtor may have disappeared or cannot be contacted. So kita kena anggap sebagai dia tak dapat bayar hutang. So we have to record as bad debt expenses. Okay, so it is record as an expenses in statement of income.
Maafkan ku Madam Fizi.
Okay.
Okey, so sekarang tiba masanya untuk tuntut mata kredit pelajar. Jadi pelajar diminta beri perhatian. Nombor yang seterusnya adalah 1. Saya ulang, nombor yang seterusnya adalah 1. Okey, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you Madam Lee. Yeah. Okay, so maksudnya dah nak habis siaran. Yeah. Okay, still got a few slides. Alright, now we look at example of bad debt. Okay, on October 25th, Pilah Advertising had successfully identified that a debtor named Badrul has gone bankrupt and was unable to pay his debt of 1,000. Badrul dah bankrupt, so tak dapat bayar hutang amounting RM1,000. So we have to make an adjustment. So what is the adjustment? On 31st October, debit bad debt expenses 1,000 and credit accounts receivable Badrul 1,000. Kenapa kita kena credit account receivable? Because kita akan hapuskan account receivable because kita dah declare sebagai expenses. That is the bad debt expenses. Okay. Now kita pergi kepada correcting entries. Okay, ada sikit je about correcting entries. Okay, correcting entries means correcting is a journal entry, journal entry that is made in order to fix an erroneous transaction that had previously been recorded in the general ledger. Okay, correcting entry mean kita kena buat correcting entries lah, a journal entry to fix an erroneous transaction untuk memperbaiki ataupun untuk membetulkan kesalahan yang telah dilakukan. Okay, so there are two ways to make correcting entries. Okay, firstly, reverse the incorrect entry and then use a second journal entry to record the transaction correctly. The other one is to make a single journal entry when combined with the original but incorrect entry, then fix the error. Okay, nanti kita akan tengok these two ways. Okay, so correcting entries is to correct the erroneous transaction. Okay, there are two types of error. Firstly is types of error you will not see. Kita tak nampak. That's mean error where the trial balance still balance. Trial balance tu still balance, left and right balance. That's why kita tak nampak ada error dekat situ. That is types of error you will not see. Okay, the other one is type of error you will see. Error tu kita nampak. Itu adalah satu keadaan di mana error where the trial balance does not balance. Bila trial balance does not balance, kan? So then you can detect there must be an error. Bila trial balance tak balance, then awak tahu mesti ada kesalahan dekat situ. That mean you see the error. You will see the error. Okay, so we go one by one. Type of error you will not see means, there are a few types. Firstly, error of omission. That is the transaction has been completed, omitted or not recorded. Secondly, error of commission. That a transaction has been recorded in the wrong account. Thirdly, error of principle. A transaction has conceptually been recorded incorrectly. Number 4, compensating error. That means two different errors has been made Number 5, error of original entry. That means the correct double entry has been made but with the wrong amount. And number 6, reversal of entry. That means the correct amount has been posted to the correct account but on the wrong side. Okay, so this is the error that you will not see. That means the trial balance still balanced. Yeah? Okay, and then type of error you will see. Maksudnya the trial balance tak balance. Okay, the types, number 1, single-sided entry. That is, a debit entry has been made but no corresponding credit entry or vice versa. Kita record debit tapi kredit tak record. Okay, secondly, debit and credit entries has been made but at a different values. Number 3, 2 entry has been made on the same side. Number 4, an incorrect addition in any individual account. Number 5, opening balance has not been brought down. Number 6, extracting error. That is, the balance in the trial balance is different from the balance in the relevant accounts. Okay, these are the errors that you will see. Okay, now we look at the example of correcting errors. Okay, on August 1st, Encik Ahmad purchased machinery for 100,000 and wrongly debited the furniture account. Prepare a journal entry for the adjustment. Okay, so we identify the wrong entry. Okay, Encik Ahmad recorded the purchase of machinery 100,000 wrongly to the account of furniture. Sepatutnya machinery tapi dia record sebagai furniture. So apa yang dia buat is debit furniture 100,000 and credit cash 100,000. Sepatutnya apa? Sepatutnya machine. Okay. So we look at the first way tadi, cara yang pertama, kita for step 1, passing the reverse entry to correct the effect of the wrong entry. Okay, so step 1 is kita reverse entry tu balik. That means debit cash 100,000 and credit furniture 100,000. And adjustment for step 2, kita passing the correct entry. That means debit machinery 100,000 and credit cash 100,000. Okay, so this is the way of number 1. Okay, kita ada satu lagi cara tadi, the number 2. Yeah. Okay, we use the same example. Okay, so we identify the wrong entry. Sama juga macam tadi. Debit furniture 100,000 tu salah and credit cash 100,000. Okay, so what is the adjustment? What is the correcting entries? Okay, untuk the second way is to make a single journal entry that when combined with the original but incorrect entry and then fix the error. Yeah. So maksudnya kita identify dulu which one is the wrong and which one is right. Wrong. Okay, firstly kita tengok credit cash is correct. Yang salah tu adalah debit furniture. Sepatutnya debit apa? Machinery. So what is the adjustment? So what is the correcting entries? Okay, so the correcting entries is on October 31st, debit machinery yang betul 100,000 and cash dah betul, so kita tak payah buat apa-apa, credit furniture. Sebab kita nak hapuskan balik. Tadi debit, kreditkan furniture yang salah. Okay, so that is the correcting entries. Okay, now kita dah lepas 10.30. Pop quiz ni sepatutnya tak sempat. Okay lah, saya buat satu je soalan pop quiz. Nanti kita akan sambung Okay, so soalan pertama. Okay, siapa boleh jawab? Jawab dekat chat. Question number 1. Adjusting entries are necessary to A. update and correct the account at the end of the period. B, balance the book at the end of the period. C, correct the sales of the period. D, ensure the equality of debit and credit. Okay, so what is the answer? Siapa boleh jawab?
Okey, pelajar boleh sediakan jawapan anda pada ruangan chat. Cuba jawab.
Okay, kita buat satu atau dua sajalah.
Okey, ada
Adrina
jawapan
jawab
daripada
A.
pelajar. Adrina kata A.
Okay, kita tengok jawapan dia is A. Okay, betul. Senang je. Okay lah, kita buat lagi satu soalan lah. Question number 2. Boleh refer to the expense that are already incurred, utilized or consumed but has not been paid. So which one is the correct answer? A, prepaid expenses. B, unearned expenses. C, accrued expenses. And D, accounts expense. Okay, siapa boleh jawab? Seorang pun cukup lah. Expenses that already incurred, used or utilized or consumed but have not yet been paid.
Okey, ada jawapan dari Nur Suryani Azri. Dia kata C. Jun Jie Chai C.
Okay. So we look at the answer. Okay, correct The answer is C. Okay, good. Okay, one more question. One more question. Okay. Question 3. Represent revenue or income already collected but not yet earned. Also refer to as advance from customer. Okay. What is the correct answer? A, accrued income. B, service revenue. C, unearned revenue. And D, sales revenue. Okay, what is the correct answer?
Okey, jawapan dari Syami. Dia kata C. Nur Khairunisa C.
Okay, so we look at the last question This is the last question lah. So sebab masa dah tak cukup. Okay, ramai jawab C nampaknya. Okay, so the answer is C, unearned revenue. Okay, good. Okay, so I think itu saja from me. Kita sempat buat pop quiz 3 soalan saja. And thank you very much for your cooperation. So saya serahkan semula kepada Madam Lee. Okay, thank you guys.
Okey, terima kasih diucapkan kepada Madam Fizi atas perkongsian yang sangat bersahaja dan menarik ini. Tahniah diucapkan kepada semua yang setia bersama kelas pada malam ini dari awal sehingga ke saat ini. Untuk maklumat, link CJ boleh didapatkan pada ruangan chat. Sila beri perhatian, link tersebut akan tamat tempohnya iaitu 30 minit selepas sesi live ini. Pastikan anda menggunakan sama ada email e-didik ataupun akaun MURID delima sahaja. Kesilapan memasukkan email tidak akan dilayan. Sebagai tanda penghargaan, marilah kita like, subscribe dan share channel presenter kita malam ini, Madam Fizi. Kelas kita yang seterusnya adalah pada hari dan waktu yang sama iaitu pada Rabu depan 9.30 malam. Sila layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk dapatkan info terkini dan jadual kelas tuition percuma. Jom, kongsikan portal AYU ini kepada rakan-rakan dan guru-guru di seluruh Malaysia. Juga diingatkan bahawa semua kelas online percuma ini boleh ditonton semula melalui link yang disediakan di portal AYU. Semoga kita mendapat manfaat daripada kelas-kelas yang dijalankan. Sekian, terima kasih dan selamat malam kepada semua. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda.
Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuition online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma.
Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang.
Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi